When we think about clutter, we think about messy piles of stuff. What pops into your mind? What picture do you see? A linen closet, your garage, your grandmother's house that stores 90 years of living? Clutter stops us from using and enjoying the space that it's intended for. Now, think about the unhealthy emotions that someone carries. These emotions influence core beliefs, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. They amount to unhealthy clutter that prevents people from realizing life visions. So, in this episode of Stress Talk with Marcyline, I am sharing three best reasons for women to emotionally declutter. And we're going to get to that in just one moment. Hi there, and welcome to Stress Talk Live with Marceline. This is where we help women over 40 to live healthier lives through strategic stress management and solution focused self care. I'm Marceline. If you didn't know that before, I'm telling you now, I'm Marceline. I'm so glad that you joined me today. We're going to be talking about something to wrap up our whole month. This month, we've been talking about emotional clutter, how to get rid of it, what it is, why you need to get rid of it, and how it can help you to move forward in your life. Today, we're going to wrap things up by talking about the three best reasons women need to emotionally declutter. I think these reasons are exceptionally profound. Well, maybe not exceptionally profound, but I think these three things, these three best reasons, will give you the encouragement you need to get rid of all of that stuff that's in your heart and in your head that no longer serves you. So, as I said, this is Stress Talk with Marceline. I want to ask you to like, follow, and subscribe to ML Bailey Consultants on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can always catch Stress Talk with me on Facebook and YouTube. And for those of you who aren't able to watch the live stream, you can watch it on replay on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also listen to the audio podcast. You can hear it on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Overcast, every other cast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can catch Stress Talk Live. So, I want to get into our topic for today. And um, as I said, I believe that it's important for us to make sure that we are decluttering. Now, I always think about my linen closet, and I've talked about this before. When I think about my linen closet, I just hate to go into it because when I open the door, I can't find anything. Everything is a mess. The sheets are pushed on the shelves. I have to look for pillowcases when I change the bed sheets to pull things out. I stack things up just to find a matching pillowcase. Or, I mean, we have cleaning supplies in that closet. We have um, towels and rags that we use for cleaning. We have dusters. We have all kinds of stuff in that closet. And it is just cluttered. It's just cluttered. It's hard to see, it's hard to find things, and it does not really serve us. When I have time off, I'll be off for a week in a couple of weeks. I'm going to clean that closet. I've cleaned it a number of times before, but it still gets cluttered. It gets cluttered because we just don't have time. We just put things in and we don't have time to really go through it. So that's what I think about when I think about clutter. I think about my linen closet. What do you think about? What do you think about when you think about clutter? You can drop it in the comment section. Doesn't have to be as, lengthy as my explanation about what I think about when I think of clutter, but just drop it in the chat if you like. Some people think about their garage. Some people think about older people's homes. Older people have things that they've had for years. And it does get to be cluttered because all of their, I mean, a lifetime of things that they've collected, things that are meaningful to them, are in their home. And so it can be cluttered, especially if someone is not through and weeding through. But we're not talking about that type of clutter. We've not talked about that type of clutter this month. We're talking about emotional clutter. And when we talk about emotional clutter, we're talking about the beliefs, the feelings, the thoughts that we carry in our hearts and in our minds that do not serve us, and in some instances, adversely affect us. So we want to get to a place where we are constantly clearing that stuff out, getting rid of it, moving it out of ourselves, putting it someplace where it belongs, but not anywhere where it's going to affect us. So, I want to share with you today three best reasons that I think women should emotionally declutter. The first reason is that we can live authentically. We can be authentically who we are when we emotionally declutter. Now, what does that mean? What that means is we can get rid of the stinking thinking that we carry. And you'll recall from one of the past broadcasts, I talked in depth about stinking thinking. And I actually went through what stinking thinking is. But in general, stinking thinking is a negative thought pattern that causes us to have negative feelings. And those negative feelings, in turn, feed into negative core beliefs. It, of course, those negative thinking patterns affect how we behave, how we act, how we present ourselves, as well as how we perceive interactions and what's going on in the world around us. So it is very important that we continue to weed through that stinking thinking. Make sure we have an understanding of those negative thought patterns and be aware of the negative thought patterns that we fall back on so that we can change it, so we can shift it, so that we can reframe how we think so that we are seeing facts. Which leads me to the other point about living authentically. Oftentimes, we will have false truths. We live by false truths. And when I talk about, or when I'm talking about false truths, I'm talking about those truths that are not born out of facts. It's those truths that are based on our negative core beliefs or our negative feelings. So, and we make it a truth. We make it real because it validates what we're thinking and what we're feeling, as well as what we believe. The thing is, those false truths may not be based on fact. So, in order, I think, to allow ourselves to live authentically, we want to make sure that we can have fact based truths that, um, that guide what we believe, think, and feel, as opposed to truths that are based on our feelings and our negative thoughts. So when we're able to live authentically, we are able to understand and recognize when we are thinking negatively and we are falling back on a negative thought pattern, and we are able to rely on fact based truth to guide us. The other thing is, when we're living authentically, it makes room for growth. We grow mentally, emotionally, as well as spiritually. And in some instances, physically, because we begin to do the things that take care of ourselves, our bodies, our minds, our spirits, and our souls. And so when we are emotionally decluttering, it enables us to live authentically. And we do that by understanding and getting rid of those negative thought patterns, replacing them with a different way of thinking. We also limit the false truths that we rely on by relying on fact based truth. And third, we make room for growth and we grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So that's number one. The first and the best reason to get rid of our I'm sorry, to get to emotionally declutter is that it enables us to live authentically. So what is the second best reason? The second best reason is that it enables us to develop genuine connections with other people. And we do that because we are once again able to value ourselves. When we get rid of our emotional clutter, we begin to value who we are. We get a true sense of our inherent gifts, our skills, as well as our abilities. Not only that, we begin to invest in ourselves. And by investing in ourselves, I'm not talking about going to get a manicure every week or pedicure every week. Your mani pedi. And I'm not talking about getting your hair done. I'm talking about really investing in you, doing those things that really feed your spirit, your soul. Those things that when you do them, it gives you such a good sense of yourself. It lifts you up. And no matter what you encounter, having done that investment in yourself enables you to move through that difficulty, not necessarily easy, but in a way that you are validating of yourself. So when we value ourselves, because we value our gifts, our inherent gifts, skills, and abilities, we're making an investment in ourselves. We also feel empowered. And empowerment is such a big deal. When you are empowered, you can move the world. You can capture the moon. There's so much that you can do, not only for yourself, but for your family, for your community. It's like there's more of you to go around because you know how to give of yourself in a meaningful way. You know how to set boundaries so you're not being used up, and you know how to replenish the energy that you need. So that's another way that we are able to, another reason, another best reason to emotionally declutter, because it enables us to establish genuine connections. And when I say genuine connections, I'm talking about relationship. I'm talking about relationships that are long lasting, that are born out of factual truths, that are born out of connection, that are there not because we agree about everything, but we can have a discourse, and we can agree to disagree, but that does not change the foundation that our relationship is based on. We can appreciate another's inherent gifts, skills, and abilities. We can also value their opinion. So that's the second. So I'm talking about the three best reasons that women should emotionally declutter. I've talked about first, it enables us to live authentically. Second, it enables us to develop genuine connections with others. Now let's talk about the third reason. The third reason is freedom. Who doesn't want to feel free? Who doesn't want to get rid of the things that hold us hostage? You know, emotions can hold us hostage. Negative thoughts can hold us hostage. And when we're a hostage, we're paralyzed. We can't move because we're fearful of what might happen to us. We're afraid that something bad will happen to us if we move out of that hostage situation. But being a hostage is also very sad. It's sad. It causes us to be stressed. It makes us feel bad. It's like we can't, it causes us to be sick. When we emotionally declutter, it gives us a freedom where we're not carrying a load on our shoulders or on our backs. Right? Right? Have you seen somebody who is carrying a heavy load and they're like hunched over and they're trying to walk, and they're tired because that load is so heavy? That's exactly what emotional clutter does. It weighs us down. It weighs us down and it holds us hostage. When we are emotionally decluttering, that is, we're freeing ourselves. We're saying no to emotional burdens, the burdens that we have for ourselves, as well as the burdens, the emotional burdens that others have that we carry for them. We say no to that. No, we get rid of it, cut it off, throw it away. We get rid of it, right? We shake it off. We don't accept anything that does not belong to us, because people will put their stuff, their emotional baggage on you. They will either blame you for things that they feel, or they will say that you caused the problem that they're having, right? They will hand it to you. And oftentimes we accept it because we care about people. We want them to feel better. We want to support them. We want to help them. However, that adds to our emotional clutter, and we need to say no. So we need to shake that off And we need to say, no, I'm not going to take that. I will help you to work through it, but I will not carry it for you. The second thing is when we're saying no to an emotional burden, we are actually moving forward with our lives in an authentic way. I keep throwing that word out, authentic. And that's a very important word for me. It's actually a value that I have to be authentic. Authentic is being real, presenting the facts as they are about myself, the layers. I heard a very accomplished woman yesterday talk about the layers of myself. And there are many. We all have layers. And those layers are very complex because they intertwine and they're woven into what makes us who we are. When we say no to emotional burdens because we're freeing ourselves, it enables us to move forward. We can say, I'm not going to be a hostage to this emotion any longer. I'm going to move forward with my life. I'm going to move forward in an authentic and a genuine way. The other thing is that when we say no to emotional beliefs or emotional burdens, we can replace those negative beliefs that we have with different beliefs, factual beliefs, things that are born out of truth, factual truth, not feeling truth, but factual truth. Second, when we are free, we are able to skillfully vet not only our emotions, but our interactions with the world around us. We can fact check, and not just fact check through what we feel, but fact check through what we actually see, through our five senses, what we're seeing, what we're hearing, what we're smelling, what we're tasting in some instances, what we're feeling tactily, and what we're, did I say see? See, hear, taste, smell, touch. See, hear, taste, smell, touch. There you go. All five. We can factually vet all of our interactions. But not only that, because sometimes, let's say you're talking to somebody and they give you a stank face, a stank eye. You can ask questions. We can ask questions. I don't understand. I don't understand that look. Can you explain it to me? What was that about? Girl, what was that about? What you looking at me like that for? Yeah. You can say that to your girls, right? You say it to your girls. Like, hey, girl, what you looking at me like that for? Sometimes I do. Like, girl, excuse me? So, but we can vet by fact checking. Also, as I said earlier, we can replace our negative thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with positive thoughts, feelings, and beliefs based on the facts. And then finally, we can choose. When we're free, we can choose to hold on to those things that only serve us. We can get rid of the other stuff. We can just toss it over our shoulders. The things that no longer serve us, the things that make us feel bad, the things that we're holding on to that are holding us hostage, the things that are making us afraid and fearful, the things that are causing us to stay in one place and not step out on what we believe. We can just toss those things over our shoulders and we do not have to look back. We don't have to look back. We shouldn't look back. Once we are free, there's no reason to look back. We just look forward. We can just be where we are and look forward when we are no longer a hostage to our stinking thinking and our emotional clutter. And we can just keep it moving, y'all. Just keep stepping forward, keep going forward to where we really want to be. Didn't mean to get on a soapbox about that. But it's true. It is very true. We need to emotionally declutter. And I believe that we can do it. And when we emotionally declutter, we reap the benefits. And the reasons we should do it are it allows us to live authentically. It also enables us to develop genuine connections through genuine relationships. And then finally, we are free. We are no longer held hostage by our stinking thinking and our emotional clutter that causes us to be fearful, causes us to stay in the same place. We are free to be who we are and to move towards the goals that we've set out for ourselves. So that's it for today. I didn't go over today. How about that? Give me a hand clap. Can you all give me a hand clap? Let's see. Let's see if I can get a hand clap. Thank you for the hand clap. All right. Remember to please like, follow, and subscribe to ML Bailey Consultants on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Also, if you also if you go to my Instagram, you will see a link that will take you to not all of my resources, but my top resources as well as my website. So check that out too. I'm Marcyline Bailey. I'm so glad that you joined me today for the 3 best reasons women should need to emotionally declutter. That's all for now. As always, take good care.